Okay. Hi, Julie. Thanks so much for taking some time to come and chat with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So as I was just mentioning before I hit record, I just think it's really useful for people who might be debating joining us in the Change Your Brain, Change Your Body community and program to hear from people who have done it, like yourself. So thank you for being willing to take a few minutes to share your experience with me. So first of all, I would just love to get a sense because I know you can relate to people who I know I can as well to those folks out there who have tried so many things, right? Tried so many diets, so many programs. Like I was just chatting with a woman earlier this morning who did like amphetamines, back in the day, back when they were selling them as diet pills, and oh my gosh, all the grapefruit diet, all the things. So I would just love to get just give me a sense of sort of this what this journey has looked like for you and what you have tried up till now. What are just some of the things what does that look like for you?
Oh my gosh. Sarah, I have tried way more things than I'm even comfortable saying in this journey of trying to lose weight to get healthy. And I have to say, they all worked.
Sure.
They all
Yeah.
worked for a time, but after a time they don't anymore. And that's when you start to feel like, huh, it happened again. I'm a failure. I'm defective. I'm broken. There's something wrong with me that these things all work for everybody else, but they don't work for me. So yeah, I've tried a lot. I've tried a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I know people are watching right now that can totally relate to that. I know I completely know how you feel. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that especially that sense of like it's obviously working for everyone else, right? How come everyone else can do all this and they can plan their meals and they're at the gym and they're all like they don't even notice the desserts on the table at the party. Like, how do they do that? Oh
Right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that way.
Yeah.
So what was it then, again, given that you tried so many things, what was it, I don't know how you sort of came across me or the program, but what was it about the message there that sort of resonated with you that you thought, maybe this is worth trying?
hmm First of all, I came across you on Facebook through my feed, and I am not one that will just click on. I'm kind of not trusting of social
Yeah.
media, like who's watching me, right? I'm not one to click on any of that stuff, but for some reason, maybe it was your smile, I don't know, but for some reason I clicked on it. And the one thing that resonated with me is that you assumed we already knew what it took to lose weight to get healthy, that we know what to eat, we know we have to exercise, but that there's something missing from those things.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of people know what we have to do, but we don't know what's missing and why we can't seem to keep it up forever. And I wanted more. I wanted to learn what that missing piece was. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what pulled me in.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that. Yeah, exactly. That's always my belief that generally the women, the people that I attract are people who are like they're super smart people that have done so many. They know more about nutrition, honestly, than like the average person walking down the street. Right? They've read so many books, they've done so many programs, and so it's not a lack of knowledge in that sense. Although we still have this idea that maybe I just need to find the right diet, but we know so much. It's just why don't we stick with it? And like you touched on at the beginning, why don't we stick it with consistently? Right? We can do it for a little while, but then why do we always fall back into those old habits? I really believe that's the missing piece of the puzzle. So yeah, brilliant. Um, so then having done the program with me, or I guess, we're sort of coming to the end of this session that you're in. What has been different for you in this than other things that you've tried?
hmm Oh my gosh. The things that I have gained from this program go beyond any expectation that I ever had. I love it. Um, Before this program, Sarah, I labeled myself as an emotional eater.
Mm.
And that's it. I mean, that's true. I am an emotional eater. But if you think about that term, it's so generic.
Mm.
that could apply to anybody. It's taking the basic emotional eater term and delving deeper into that, because everybody's unique. Everybody has their own set of circumstances that has created why they do things, right? And I never let myself delve very deep into that because it was scary. It was hard. It was uncomfortable. And this program, Change Your Brain, Change Your Body, gave me the courage to say, look, I have to go a little bit deeper, because if I don't, nothing's ever going to change. I have to know what's driving my boat. I love that. What's driving my boat. And it was such a safe place. You've created such a safe place for all this scary stuff that's coming out, that I don't want to say it was easy. I've had my moments.
Yeah.
But it was just safe. It's just, it's a safe place to explore. And Sarah, you have taken all of the knowledge that's out there in the world that is so darn confusing for little people like me. Some of it written in scientific terms that's like, what the heck is that saying anyways, right?
Yeah.
And you've got all these resources and you pull them all together, and then you assign an analogy to them, you know, a way that you can describe it to us and help us to understand it and help us to apply it to our life, that it just makes so much sense. And my husband, he's just so funny. Every day I have something new to tell him, and bless his little heart, he sits there and listens to me, unlike any other program that I've been in and before too, because I think this is exciting to him too. So
Nice.
I don't know. And I have never in my little life been able to just go through my day without talking mean and nasty to myself.
Oh.
The one thing that you taught us, to replace judgment. No, replace.
Replace judgment with curiosity.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Huge.
Yeah.
Just huge.
It's a big one, not just for food, but for everything in our lives, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. One of the things that I like to talk a lot about when I'm talking to people about the program, because to me, it's such a big piece of it, is the community, right? It's not just about the program. It's about this beautiful community that I have really tried to grow, and I think has now just, it's way bigger than me, right? It's like this beautiful community in the Facebook group, and then the fact that you guys get lifetime access to, you know, the program forever. So people have been in there. I was talking to Janice, who you probably know from the program, and she was mentioning how she's made like actual friends through the program, and they like text each other and they go on vacation, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was in tears. So to me, that community is so important, because I know, having been on the same journey myself, how isolating it can sometimes feel, right? And you feel alone, and you feel like you're the only one that can't like get your stuff together, and there can be a lot of shame, and so it can be really isolating. You sort of hide away, or you pretend that you've got it all together, but like you don't really share with anybody the hard parts. And so the community piece is so important to me. So I would love to get your perspective on the CYB family, as I like to call it.
Yeah, it is a family, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I came into this program really scared and really vulnerable feeling. And I'm not someone who opens up the deep, dark core of myself to a lot of people. I'm terrified of rejection if they really knew me, right?
Yeah.
But I remember one night, kind of halfway through the program, it was 2 or 3 in the morning, and Sarah, I had this turmoil going in my head just from some of the work I had been doing for this program, and I couldn't sleep, and I didn't know what to do with it. And then I'm like, wait, the Facebook page, right? I'm not going to wake anybody up. I'm not going to bother anybody, but I could put it out there. I honestly didn't want to hit the submit button. I was scared silly, but I did. You've given me a lot of courage. And oh my gosh, the responses that came back. You made a video for me. I will never even tell you what that meant to me. I just, wow, I broke out in tears because
Oh.
somebody cares. Somebody understands. I'm not alone in what I'm going through. And that means everything. One of the selling points, I think, for me was that it's lifelong support, and I didn't have to lose a certain amount of weight to get that support. I didn't have to have certain behaviors in place. I just simply needed to say, here I am, I'm ready to make a change, and you welcomed us in. Everybody in the group welcomed me in with open arms, and I don't know that I've had support groups, don't get me wrong. I've had a group that I'm part of, but not one that was just so that I felt comfortable enough to really open up the core parts of me in.
Oh, I love that so much, Julie. And I know that you have helped so many people in the group as well. Like, you have given back so much. I know so many people even mention your name to me when they talk about, again, like, we don't all, maybe we've never met in person, but people in the group feel like they know you because of your contribution there and your support of other people. So it's so beautiful. And again, I don't know if people can fully appreciate how, I'm always trying to explain how beautiful that community is, but I just think it's such a big piece of it. So thank you for sharing that. So just finally, I would just love to know, again, I know so many people have tried so many things, and we've all invested so much money, and we have a fear of just like throwing more money out, good money after bad. And also this sense that, I don't want to try something else and fail, right? It feels so awful to try something else, get my hopes up, and then fail again. Like, we've all been there. And sometimes that feels worse than trying again. So what would you say to someone, like, what would you say to a friend who was maybe really thought this might be a great thing for her to try, but was really on the fence because she's afraid? What would you say to her?
First off, just that it's okay to be afraid.
Yeah.
Right? Embrace that fear. I think all of us can relate to a time where we were so fearful and didn't jump in, and we missed out on something, right?
Yeah.
So embrace the fear, and in fact, you're going to be encouraged to bring it along on your journey, right? Not to dissipate it, but to bring it along, because that's a natural human feeling.
Yeah.
But I would also just stress that it's a life-changing program, not just changing your relationship with food, but it's helped me change my relationship with myself as well. I also hear a lot of people say that this just isn't the right time. I'm afraid this isn't the right time. It's the holidays. We're always going to come up with an excuse. And we're always going to be afraid.
Yes.
So is there really a perfect time to do this?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So it's okay to be afraid. In fact, bring that fear along with you. But a saying that I love to say is, if not now, when?
When? Exactly.
Right? We are so worth the time and the energy that it takes to change. And when you have a program like this one that guides you through it and gives you the knowledge and the tools, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, exactly. I love that. It's a great way of putting it that, we're always going to be afraid. It's just the nature of it, right? That anytime you're embarking on change or transformation, you're going to be afraid, right? That's why that's how your brain keeps you safe, right? As I always teach you guys. So you have to just pack the fear along with you, and this is where we're going. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Julie. This was really, really helpful. I really appreciate you sharing your experience. I know it's going to be helpful for other people that are sort of should I, shouldn't I, and which I totally understand and respect. So it's really, really helpful. So thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure, Sarah. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.